In the ever-advancing world of technology, AI, biometrics, and human emotional advancement, these two idiots don't have a clue. Welcome to the Life Lessons from Two Neanderthals podcast. I hope you can stand it.
All right.
That was great.
Hopefully we're on and rocking and rolling, and you guys are seeing us. Why does that look all kind of funky?
I don't know.
Doesn't that look a little funky? Let's put the scenes down here. Hold on. We're going to adjust a few things here. Or put the scenes down here. And then move this over. Which one of the two on the pictures you can read? But you can put, he means on the two Neanderthals.
Oh.
Either the one scratching his butt or the one picking his nose. Take your pick.
Either or.
Yeah, it's all the same. So if this is this we hear you and see you. Good. All right. So if this is your first time, well, this is actually our first time live.
Yes, it is.
And normally we do this as a podcast. We record it and then submit it. But this is our first live.
I like it. And we have people to chat.
So, and just so you know, if Harry's out there, Harry, I figured out how to do Rumble in OBS, actually in the chat, in the doc. So we'll talk about that later and everything. So, the subject we're going to talk about is called manherding. And hopefully there's some ladies out there that are watching so we can explain to you where hold on, I'm just moving some stuff around just real quick. Hold on. So you can understand where we're coming from when we are constantly confused. All right. So would you like to talk about anything about that before I actually dive into the use cases?
I've been really excited for this show, but I know you've been chomping at the bit on this one for a bit, so I'm going to let you take the lead.
All right. So what we're talking about, manherding. So we're going to give you some use cases. And here's something I thought of. This involves our wives and everything else. So after we do this show,
we're going to get a beat down.
We're probably going to get a beat down. But, well, no, you can't get a beat down for the truth. So then we're going to have our wives either maybe our next episode or maybe the following episode, maybe for a 15, 20-minute segment, come here and we'll do a couple clips of what we just talked about and have them tell us which part of this is untrue.
So, with that being said, there's always three sides to every story. There's our side, there's their side, and then there's truth.
But ours is the truth always, right?
And we're going to go with that.
All right.
On this case, we are definitely going to go with that one.
All right. So we'll have them here, and they can see it. We'll play the clips, and then we'll turn to them and say, tell me what about that we just said is not true.
All of it.
They can't deny the truth, because then I call them out and say, oh, hold on a minute. And we'll probably get our things, our gavels over there.
Absolutely.
So let me just lay out the scenario for you. Men's side is at least always more accurate. Exactly. So let me lay out. So we have a group that we go to the beach. I guess it's every other month. Every other year.
I wish
All right.
It was every other month.
Yeah, no shit. So it's husbands and wives and everything else. Okay. So now, we arrive at the beach house. It's a big beach house. It's like, 8, 10 rooms, whatever the hell it is. And so everybody's, got their own deal. All right. Now we start to put things away. So the men are undoing the cooler. Well, everybody is, women and men. We're getting stuff out of the coolers.
In the ever-advancing world of technology, AI, biometrics, and human emotional advancement.
All right, and so the ladies are saying, "Oh, we're not going to put that there. We're going to put that over here." And we're loading up the pantry. It's like, well, no, put those down here. We're going to put. So eventually, you start going, and pretty soon you're out of the kitchen and out of wherever else. Okay, so that's the man herding season has just started.
Now, with that being said, there's been multiple vacations that this has occurred on. So this isn't just a one-time deal.
Not a one-time deal. All right. So that's the initial case. So that's where we start. That's where we've started. Now
it gets better.
Oh, it gets better. So now every couple. So as we do it, there's 2 or 3 nights we'll all go out and out to eat or whatever else. The rest of the nights, a couple picks a food or whatever that they choose for everybody. Like, they might pick do a big pot of, like, say, meatballs, spaghetti meatballs, or taco bowls, or whatever it is. All right. So then that couple was in the kitchen cooking while the other couples, do whatever. All right. So I will say specifically on my night, we did taco bowls, I think. I can't remember.
Well, this past time you guys did like a boil.
Yeah, that was later. Initially we did like a.
Oh, that's right. Yes,
yeah.
yes. The boil is very good, by the way.
Thank you. And so we did taco bowls. All right. So we're cooking the meat. Yeah, we have like chicken and beef, whatever. So we're cooking the meat, and my wife and I are in the kitchen, and we're doing stuff. So then all of a sudden, the other wives start to meander into the kitchen, right?
One at a time,
almost like they're sneaking. But anyway, so they start entering into the kitchen, and now, granted, this is our night to cook, and that's how we do it. And we've done it for years. We've done it. So I'm I forget what I was doing. I was cutting up lettuce, and tomatoes and whatever else. And so I get a bowl, and so one of the wives like, well, we're not going to use that bowl. I said, why are we not going to use the bowl? The bowl's a bowl. It's not too big, it's not too small, it's a perfect bowl. What the hell are you talking about? Well, we probably should use this bowl and then just bowl this. And I said, whoa. Now, granted, these are people we've known for 30 years, so I don't mind getting a little spicy. So, I wasn't like spicy. Like, well, I said, well, hold on. This is we're supposed to be cooking. Why are you in the kitchen? Busting the bowl's a bowl. We're just doing this. So then by the time I turn around, one of the wives has taken up cutting the tomatoes and the lettuce, and I'm like, whoa, what we got going on here? So anyway, long story short, as we're preparing the meals, here goes Gary. And before I know it, I'm out of the kitchen next to the couch in no man's land. And so I'm like,
with the other men, actually,
yeah,
I went outside on the deck.
Yeah, well, that's where eventually I ended up.
I was out
with a beer in my hand.
Absolutely.
And so there is the use case. So and this was the same story every night that somebody had to cook, or a couple had to cook. The women somehow invaded like some kind of army, and then thank you, Charlene. That's Charlene. So but it happened every night. Every night the couple was cooking. The guy got kind of shoved off to the side, and this and the other. You want to talk anything else about that? Because now I'm going to go into what this really means. Anything to add to that?
No, you're accurate.
And I'll say now. Granted, this is just one use case. Okay. Excuse me. We've had other use cases during the week. Now we're here for a whole week at this beach house, right? So during this week, so you got that. Then you have, we're gonna go to the beach at so and so. We're gonna be there at 10:00. And so we might like say, hey, we're gonna get a bowl of cereal, and then we'll be out at 10. Like, well, we're gonna be at the beach at 9. We're gonna make sandwich, and just blah 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 blah, and you just keep getting. All right, now I'm using with the guys. Well, we appreciate it. And I tell you, come with us. You can hang out with us.
Absolutely.
Now, remember, this has gone on all week. All week.
Years.
And for multiple years. Right. So, we are now at the last day. So the last day. So we're at the last day. So now, the refrigerator, we've had some extra food or whatever. So that food either needs to be eaten for the last night or whatever, or it needs to be thrown or whatever it is. And cleaning up. So the women just go they go in there into the kitchen and they start unloading stuff. So it's like a freaking hornet's nest in there. It's like a beehive.
Somebody's going to lose an eye.
Lose an eye. And there's buzz, and they're going all over the place. And it's just like, so you can see, I come up the stairs. I get ready to go in the kitchen because it's been announced that we are going to start cleaning up and everything else. And they made an announcement. So I come up the stairs, and I make it to 2 feet from the kitchen, and I stop. And there's just this whole hornet's nest going on. And I'm like, and I turn around. Mm-hmm. All right. Every one of the husbands did the same thing. Ed comes up, goes in there, stops, and he goes, mm-hmm. And goes. And our friend Tony and whatever, they come up. Okay, so we're like, okay, I'm not getting in that shit because I've gotten in trouble. I've gotten yelled at every day. I won't say yelled at, but you get pushed out, and then when you try to help, then you get yelled at. You're like, oh no, we got it, and it's just like,
when the ship sinks, it's usually men and women first. In these cases, it's men outside, away from the hustle and bustle.
Yeah.
If you want to walk away with all your arms and legs.
Exactly. So, now, the last day, so we go whatever. Okay, so everything goes and whatever else. So, we're getting ready to go to bed that night. My wife comes in, and she goes, the girls were a little upset at you guys. And I said, why? I don't remember saying something ignorant. I mean, I've been accused of it in the past, but I'm usually pretty good about it. I know when not to piss people off. She goes, well, you guys really didn't help out when we were cleaning stuff up. That right there is when you hear that record scratch where it goes, mm-hmm. And I looked at my wife for 35 years, and I said, what? I said, are you serious? She goes, yeah, they were a little upset that, you guys weren't helping. And I said, so I sat my beautiful wife down. I sat her down and I said, sweetheart, apparently I've not explained this to you. Let me explain it to you here.
Here we go.
I said, have you ever heard of manherding? And she looks at me like all confused. I said, let me just explain it to you. When you have corralled us and have put us in a certain pasture, not once, not twice, not 3. I mean, 500 times in the last week. Okay? We are creatures of, we learn quickly.
We are adaptable.
We are adaptable. So when we go to this pasture and you're like, that's not the pasture you're supposed to be in. You need to go over this pasture. We eventually say, oh, okay. Well, I'm not going to even go to that pasture. I'm going to go to the pasture she's told me to go to and where I've been herded in.
For years.
Years.
It just isn't a one-time occasion.
Yeah. So
we learn.
Well, sometimes.
Apparently not.
So I told my wife, I said, so once you've put us in that pasture every time this week, I mean, can't even count how many times. Either it's been me, or it's been Ed, or it's been Tony, or whoever, and we all learn from the other one. Like tried to go in, it's like, oh, no, not wrong pasture, go over there. And then I'm like, oh, shit, okay. And the next thing I know, here comes Ed, doing to do something, and then he gets chastised, and then he gets herded to this other pasture as well. So at that point, and believe it, I know it's probably not people don't believe us. Guys, men, husbands want peace. All right? And although we do stupid shit, Nothing that we do is intentionally trying to piss your wife off, because that is something we do not want, because we just want it peaceful. So when we've been herded in this pasture each time, then we're eventually going to say, we're going to learn, that's where I'm supposed to be. That's where I'm going.
Henceforth, that's why I go outside on the porch.
So at this last day, and my wife explained to me that the girls were a little annoyed that that was happening. I'm like, but that's where you put us. You put us there every single time. And then the statement is made, well, you could have offered.
So
go ahead, and you want to take it from
Gary got this before we left. I heard this on the way home. The whole way home. So herein lies the dichotomy about this whole situation. You can't get pissed off when we offer to do something, but yet you don't want us to do it. Do you see what I mean? You get us away from whatever the situation is, but yet then you get pissed off that we didn't offer. Now, with that being said, I will say 3 of the 4 guys, when we would get done eating,
yes,
we would turn to everybody else that has been completed eating and they have their dish or whatever in front of them, and we take them as we go into the kitchen. So it's not just, 5 people being done at the dinner table and Gary and I get up with our plates and we're like, peace, y'all.
Or just get up from the table, period, and walk off.
And just leave the dirty dishes laying there. No, so that is not the case. But yeah, and that's the part that I don't understand, is why the whole thing broke down to the way that it did.
And then you would have the guys start to clean up. Mm-hmm. Okay, so we start to clean up and loading the dishwasher.
You're not going to put that in the dishwasher.
That's not, don't put that, or that, no, you put these up here and that's down here, and it's like, again. So then all of a sudden now, you got 500, you have the 500 women in there, and all of a sudden, here you go again.
Right.
And we're like, okay. So then, you back out again, or you don't even back out. You're like basically pushed out because there's just no room for you anywhere.
And with that being said, we do clean the dishes off. Any food or particles or whatever, we got it off. So it's not like, we just got up with half-eaten food and just left it there for somebody else to handle. So that's the dichotomy. You can't have it both ways. You're either in or you're out.
And so this is kind of a meta. Oh, you know what? We might bring Charlene. She'd be one of the boys.
That's right.
So this is a little bit more of this is just a microcosm of life in general.
Mm-hmm. And we're not the only people that experience this.
Right. So the thing about it is, and then hopefully there's some ladies out there watching this and whatnot. And so, ladies, let me just ask. Well, I want to ask because there may not be ladies, they may not comment. But let me just put it this way. So when we've gotten to the point where we've been told time and time again to go somewhere, and that's where we go, and then we got, so you know what, thinking about it, it's not so much that we do something or whatever, or I don't think they necessarily maybe don't appreciate, it's the fact that we don't do it the way they want it done.
Right.
That, I think, is the difference.
Right.
And so if it's so like Ed said, you can't have it both ways. Either you accept the help and we do it the way we do it,
and you can change everything behind our backs.
That's fine. I don't really care. But then you're doing the extra work. Then both of us are doing the work that should be just done by one.
Right.
Or you say, don't help me, I got it. That's fine. But then don't come Don't come back and with a case of the raw ass
You
later
never helped me.
and bitch about what's going on.
Right.
Now, I've dealt with my wife one-on-one before, right? And we do, and here's the thing. My wife and I do everything together when it comes to this stuff. So if you ever heard of IKEA furniture, which has actually caused a large percentage of divorces in this world, my wife and I are perfect together. We put it together, no arguments, no nothing, boom, it goes up. I mean, we've installed a damn over-the-top microwave and I mean, all kind of shit. But it seems to be, when we're talking about manherding, and we use the word herd, it seems like when, at least the women that we are dealing with, get in a herd, or whatever you want to call, pack, or whatever, it changes. The dynamic changes, and all of a sudden it's like, I don't know.
Yeah. So I've been thinking about this because I've been very excited for this show, and I know that you have as well. So this cycle has begun probably close to 100 years ago. So think about this. I know when I was a kid and my grandmother and my mother were in the kitchen cooking, no one was supposed to go in there. My grandfather would be thirsty and he would send me in there knowing what was going to happen. They were hoping, or at least he was hoping, that the soul of a child could at least escape the black hole, the wrath that was about ready to happen. That didn't work. So the same thing with my mom. So our parents have instilled this into their children. No, yeah, our parents have instilled this into their children, and it's been this way for over 100 years. I can remember when my grandmother was baking. You can't, don't go in the kitchen. You gotta, because my cake is gonna fall. Ooh. I don't know what the hell that was. It was cooking, and I guess she was expecting it to go from 5 feet to like a quarter of an inch. I don't know, but those were the rules.
That's the rules, bruh.
And you know, now our generation is like, hey man, we cook, we clean. We're here to help you. You guys did the cooking. You know, we're more than happy to assist in the cleanup. But when we're dejected from the cleanup and where stuff goes and so on and so forth, then that just kind of, we learn our lesson. You're going to punch me one time in the face, and I'm going to know I'm not going to door number 2. I'm going to go to door number 1.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, it only takes a good shot in the nuts. You know, a couple times to where I'm not going there no more.
Right. You got to pick and choose your battles.
So my wife and I had a little discussion about this afterwards, and it wasn't really a bitch session. I was just like, I'm like, look, man, y'all got to get together and figure out what, you know, because it's so it caused that whole scene caused a ruckus on the last day. And I said, really? I said,
I love that.
That's why men invent barbecues. Women don't seem to interfere there.
And we clean them up.
And we clean them, yeah, and we maintain them.
That's right.
And you know what? And nothing blows up, and we seem to do very well, and the food comes out excellent.
Absolutely.
Yeah, no, I'm with you.
I'm
I
with you
guess.
too.
I don't know. You know what? I don't know. Because when we did, hold on though. Right? No, when we did dogs and burgers.
Oh yeah.
They were nowhere near that grill.
That is correct.
You know what, Harry? I think you might have something.
I think you're onto something. You want us to cook one night? We'll cook.
Yeah. So Tony, our buddy Tony, was running the grill, and he was, you know, doing the hamburgers and hot dogs because we're gonna do hamburgers and hot dogs one night. There was not a woman friggin' 50 feet from that damn grill.
Right. And the two of us, at least, were there to help out. We chatted, and when he was done cooking, we carried everything upstairs.
We did. We held the beer.
Yes.
And, you know, kept the conversation going. That, you know, moral support, that's very, very important. That's what we did while Tony was grilling and flipping and whatnot.
And they were very
there was not a woman nowhere near
Good point.
The closest one was the one on the second floor out on the deck, asking if it's done, and that was it.
Are they done yet?
Are they done yet?
Are you putting cheese on them? What kind of cheese are you using?
Now, we did get that.
We did get that.
We did get that. What cheese are you? Well, what cheese did you buy? Because that's another thing.
Mm-hmm.
That's another thing. They will go do the shopping. You don't go do shopping. You don't know what you're doing.
No. We'll help unload the car.
We'll help unload the car, but when it comes to shopping, the pack of them women go and shop because you don't know what you're doing. And I was in the military for years without my wife, and I said, I think I survived. I don't know, but I don't know. Yeah, so don't shopping and this, that, and the other.
Yeah. We pick and choose our battles.
So men don't pick and choose shit.
No.
Men don't even jump in the. We're just like, you know what? I just want Pete. I don't want anybody yelling. I don't want to. And I will say, on the other side of things, when the ladies decide to play, they play hard.
Mm-hmm.
So, a lot of guys would just leave. Like, because in this beach, a lot of the beach houses every beach house we get, it's called this great room. So it's the kitchen. It's like this huge dining and the living room, right?
It's great, all right.
It's great. So you'll see the the guys will walk out and onto the deck because we can't. They start drinking and hooping, hollering, and cackling. We call it cackling. And it's like, and they're all talking at the same time. I'm like, there's no way you heard what she said because you were talking at the same time. There's no way. What did she just say? We're just having a good time. Yeah, but I said, you didn't hear shit.
One starts talking at a 3. We're not talking at a 1, and then they start talking at a 3, and then someone else is 4, 5, 6, and all of a sudden everybody's talking at 10. And I think we're out usually around the 5 mark.
At least we're prepping at 3 when we go to when they go 3 to 4.
Mm-hmm.
The guys start looking at each other and start doing the head thing, like, all right, I think it's good. There's not been one time where that has gone down.
Right.
It's always gone up.
And there's alcohol involved.
Especially with alcohol, man. They got that freaking margarita blender going.
I just won't.
There's no. We take one, we put it in the Yeti to keep it cold, and then our ass is out because I can't stand all that damn racket.
Right. It's even better when we go out in public. Whew. Yeah. Usually, Gary and I look at each other, and it's like.
So Charlene, Charlene, you must be the anomaly because this is not because I know I'm going to get trash for this, and I won't say all women.
No.
I will say, I guess I won't even say most women, even though
there's a percentage.
I'll say a lot of women, especially ones that we've dealt with, not just in our group, but elsewhere.
We are not
experience
alone.
the same thing.
Yeah, we are not alone.
Case in point, my wife right now is out of the country on a cruise with one of her packs.
Oh,
she has a couple packs. Let me tell you something. There is not a boat warning horn that could ever sound, that could ever be heard above that pack of cacklers. I guarantee they'll drown it out. They'll drown it out. Yeah, you hit the jackpot. I don't know if she did, but
I don't even know this guy, and I feel bad.
no.
Oh, that was bad.
He deserves it.
Oh,
Right.
jeez.
Yeah, he gets it. He's a buddy.
Okay.
So he gets straight in the chops. Yeah, see, Charlene just can't see. She knows a lot of them, and they're like that. She doesn't like the cackling. I can't stand the cackling. It's like the and I was like, oh.
Well, the best is when you're out in public and then you see the other tables are like.
So
and you can't
since nobody really knows who our wives are, let me tell you a little story real quick. That's that'll embarrass them. I don't really give a shit. I have a video of it, but I won't show it because I'm not allowed to show it. So,
Is this the chair?
yes, the chair of destiny. So,
So just to set the scene, this chair is about, I don't know, what do you think, 10 feet tall? It's about a story because it almost takes up the
yeah, the back of the chair goes up to high.
Yeah.
The seat's probably up here. You got
good four
something like that.
feet.
It's a huge. It's like a joke chair or whatever. In front of Duck Donuts. All right, Duck Donuts is where we live. It's a place called Outer Banks, North Carolina. It's the beach. It's where we go. And there's a thing called Duck Donuts, and they're famous for their donuts. There's this huge chair. So we're at the Blue Moon Cafe and Grill. The ladies just start, and I get it. You're on vacation. I get it. You know, you're trying to let your hair down a little bit.
We just
It's the first.
we're
We're not even checked in yet.
No, we have just crossed the border to get in, and yeah,
We're not even. We just ate dinner.
we're not even registered yet.
No, we just ate dinner, and they just were. I don't even remember what they're drinking, but they were hitting them.
Oh my!
They were hitting them. Anyway, long story short, the cackling has gone up to. It probably has gone up to record levels at this point.
Absolutely. The
Where
tables were turning around and looking,
I got up and went like I had to go to the bathroom,
and we didn't come back.
and we didn't come back. We just went outside. So, so then, so they're all, I wouldn't say drunk, but they are buzzing. Now, I don't get drunk. I don't do that. That's just something I don't do. I don't like being out of control of my faculties, but some of them, whatever. Anyway.
No inhibition.
No inhibitions. I will vouch for Ed's wife, Christy, because I've known her since, middle school. She partakes. So
Oh yeah.
I love her to death. She's like a sister to me, but she partakes.
Oh yeah.
So anyway, get to the chair. So they go I'm like, oh, let's take a picture at the chair. And we're like, oh God Almighty, can we just go to the house and then whatever? So they all go to the chair, and there's how many?
This was the entertaining portion.
It was. I will say it's entertaining. So I'm videotaping it on my phone, and I still have the video. One of these days I'm gonna get permission. Yeah. How many are we talking?
1, 2, 3, 4,
Don't forget Annette and Dawn,
5, 6. That was 6.
Cheryl and 2 and all that.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so 6. So we have 6 grown-ass women climbing in this big-ass chair to take a picture. Okay, that in itself was entertaining. It was kind of funny. Now, here's the problem. You got, what did you say, 5, 6?
6.
We got 6 grown-ass, now we're talking about 6 women up at 8. We're not talking about 60s, 70s, but they're not
enough.
They're not 25. And they're inebriated. So you're talking about 6 of these women trying to get out of this chair.
First off, watching him get into the chair was comical. Trying to get out was even better because the chair is one of those, what do they call them?
Adirondack.
Yes, and
So it leans
back. Yeah, this one, because it's so tall, really leans back.
Yeah. So basically, when they lean all the way back in this chair, all you see is feet.
Yes.
All right. So now they're trying to get out of this chair. All right. And okay, so we have the alcohol involved. Now we have the cackling and the giggling, which, according to them, the giggling is like kryptonite and sucks your strength out, that you don't have any strength anymore to whatever. We're also dealing with, I guess it's not middle-aged. I guess, is it middle-aged women? I guess middle-aged. Anyway, we're still with middle-aged women who have to be careful on the cackling and the laughing because there seems to be a loss of control of the bladder. So you might piddle. So that's why you gotta.
I don't understand. So men piss themselves, but somehow women piddle. What the hell's the difference?
I didn't know you
So
were
is that the thing? Are we supposed to say, "Oh man, I piddled"?
I'm
before
gonna start.
I
You know
went
what?
to the
I'm
bathroom.
gonna shit. I'm gonna start using it. I'm like, oh, did you pit? No, I just piddled. Damn, I didn't know you. All right.
Sorry, didn't mean to get you mid drink there.
Oh my god. So. So now they're trying to get out and not piddling. So what they're doing is they're crossing their legs and squeezing to try not to piddle because they're laughing so hard and still trying to get out of this damn chair. Now what does this have to do with manherding? Okay, I'm going to finish the story in a second. But what it has to do with manherding is the simple fact that men had been herded this whole week, so we know where our place is.
Mm-hmm.
All right? And our place, and we know, or so this is actually before that, but we've been there many years,
yeah.
So it's not like it hasn't been lost on us.
Yeah, this isn't a first timer.
So we know that is not a place we're going to end up.
No,
because we're going to get herded out of that direction anyway. So these 6 women are trying to get out of this chair without pissing themselves, and they're laughing, so they have a quote unquote no strength because I can't get, and so now at this point, yeah. So now at this point, they've decided that they need help to get out of the chair. Now, the men who, this is probably one of those times where we're willing to take a bullet.
Yeah.
And we said, no. You got in the chair, you get out of the chair. We're standing back and videotaping at the time.
That is correct.
So anyway, there is like all kind of like body rolling. They're like steamrolling each other, trying to grab the handle of the armrest to try to get. They're trying to come out the side. They can't get out the front because it's lifted.
So just to rewind a little bit, remember I told you about everybody else in the place that started to. Well, now they're coming outside as they're leaving.
So now we're in front of a strip mall. So there is Duck Donuts. You got the cafe place. There's a couple other places where you get like T-shirts and whatever else. So there's a bunch of other people coming out of storefronts or whatever.
And it's a Saturday, so it wasn't like everybody was partially closed on a Sunday.
Yeah, and all these people are witnessing these middle-aged women hooping, hollering, giggling, acting like a bunch of goofballs, trying to get out of this chair. And so at this point, the guys are back. We're back now. We're not getting forced out. We're voluntarily
backing away
because we don't want to be associated.
Absolutely not.
So now we have taken on our own herding because we know what it's like, and so we're herding ourselves away. And so anyway, finally they got out. It took them, I don't know how long it took them.
I'd say at least 15, 20 minutes. It was funny.
It was funny. And yeah, so anyway, they finally got out of the chair, and I'm like, I said, well, you know what? See this car right here that I have the keys to, that I'm driving? This car is rolling out right now to the beach house. If you're supposed to be in it, you better get your ass on board because I'm done dealing with this stuff out in the public. But that's just having a good time, apparently.
Yeah. We did have a great vacation.
We did. I mean, we talk a lot.
Except for one
shithead
party. Yeah.
Yeah. Don't get me wrong. It was a great.
We had a great.
But getting right back to the topic of the thing, man herding. Again, like we said, you heard us in that pasture. That's where we're gonna go, and then you cannot get pissed off when then you want us in another pasture, but that's where you've stuck us every freaking time, and that's where we're going.
Right. You can't have it both ways. You got to pick and choose.
Yep.
But yeah. No. No, you're absolutely right. And, you know, I'll be the first one to admit that I don't pay attention to everything. I'll get like, you know, out of a 20-word sentence, I'll get like 4 or 5, at least what I think is important. But with that being said, when you tell me we got this, no, we're good, I'm out.
Because now, wouldn't that be, if I didn't accept that as your answer, or what you've just told me, does that now seem like I don't think that you're capable enough to handle it, so I get involved anyway?
Right.
I'm thinking I'm respecting what you just said.
Absolutely.
So I'm backing the hell out.
Right.
So then you're going to come back later and then give me shit for it.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. And I honestly thought we did the right thing when it came to grabbing plates of people that were done, which the majority of people were done. So
I thought that was our contribution.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
Apparently,
yeah,
we need to do a little more.
Yeah.
So I know we've talked about it, or we might be talking about it again, but if we have a discussion on going back to the beach this next time, I think we're gonna have a sit down.
There's gonna be ground rules.
I'm gonna say, look, for shit's sake, I swear, if we do this and we get pushed and we get manherded like we've been doing, and somebody gets pissed off about that we didn't do what you thought we should do because we've been trained to go everything, then I don't know. I'm gonna, get nut. You don't have any nut. I guess we can kick them in the P-bone, something.
We could tickle them till they piddle,
something. But I'm like, we're not doing that again.
No.
And believe me, we have been herded
multiple times
since let it this way. For when a guy gets married, he is, I don't know if it happens directly at that exact second, but you better believe it's coming, and you will get herded. And again, as men, we don't necessarily mind getting herded.
Mm-hmm.
But again, you want us, we just want peace. So if you want us to go there, that's where we'll go. If you want to say, hey, you got to be here at whatever to do this or that,
we'll be there.
All right? And that's it. We just want peace, quiet, sanctity in the home.
It's a vacation.
Mm-hmm. And that's kind of where we say it.
Right. Oh, that's a good one.
What's that?
Women, no means no. Yes means no. But yes also means maybe. Maybe means no. But definitely means maybe, unless it means yes, and also no means yes. Simple.
Yeah. So there was
that sums it up.
That does sum it
right there.
So there's this thing they said. There's this. So they're having this discussion between men and women, this and the other, and so it was a lot of single. There were some married there. So they asked a woman. They asked one of these women, and I will say, on this board, she was quite opinionated. Her. So they asked her. So they were talking about women's intuition when it comes to relationships. So the guy asked him, says, "So you have intuition to know if or when your man's cheating?" And she goes, absolutely, women do. We have that intuition. So the guy rebuts and says, so if you have such a great intuition, how do you not know when your man's not happy? Bruh.
Silence.
So it was a board and there was a big audience. It was dead silent.
That's great.
You could hear a pin drop when he said, so if you have the intuition he's cheating, then you should have the intuition to know that he's not happy, which led to whatever that is. How did you not know that?
Right.
And again, I'm not. It sounds like we're kind of banging on women, and we're not, because believe me, if my wife, I respect my wife 100%. I mean, I would not be here if it wasn't for her. And but I mean, things are things. I mean, truth is truth. So if you're gonna come with that kind of whatever,
right?
There's two sides to that story. Right.
That is true.
Now, I think the interesting thing is going to be, again, if we get our wives to sit in on this, and we can play these, and I'll say, because I can sit here with great confidence, and I would let her watch, just clips or whatever. Tell me what about that we just said is not true. I'm telling you, I got 100% confidence in us and what we just described.
And for that being said, men, we also women herd when we have our like a football get together or something like that in the man cave, and we have our own little 0.1% of the house.
Yeah, 1/10. Yeah.
So,
we do, but see, that's almost. But see, I agree with you, but I don't know if that's hurting. I think they take it upon themselves because they don't want to sit there and watch it.
True.
And then leave. But I don't think there's ever been. I won't say ever. I don't think there's ever been where the guys have just kind of just
Get out of here.
just end up pushing the women out of the living room or whatever it is. Usually they kind of just migrate. They migrate on their own.
Yeah.
Migrate.
Migrate.
See, I say us herd, them migrate. Almost like birds. And we're more like buffalo.
Right. But we can't migrate because then we get in trouble.
Mm-hmm. Where did you go? Where'd you go? I thought we were hanging out as not a family, but as a group.
Yeah.
Really? Are we hanging out as a group? Because I don't feel any groupness here.
Yeah.
I feel I'm supposed to stand there and hold your purse or something. I don't know.
Right. And that's why I go to the beach in the morning and I stay until everybody is gone. And yeah,
It's been a lot. Me too. A lot of times you can there'll be two little chairs sitting there. There's Ed and myself, like right at the water, just coming up, and you see two chairs sitting there on the beach with nothing else sitting.
I wonder what they're talking about. What are they talking about? What's going on down there?
We're talking about nothing.
Guys, we're going to eat. You coming up?
But I will say, and so I will say, though, even with the man herding and stuff, and it does get annoying, especially, at times, and you do get in trouble if you not go where you're supposed to go. But I'm gonna say this at the end of the day, my wife and even Christy, they took care of us.
absolutely. 100%.
And I am definitely grateful for that, because even if they want to run the show, which again, I don't care. You want to run the show, which, well,
Right.
I say, my wife pretty much always runs the show anyway, but I don't care. That's fine.
Right.
But I will say, in running the show, they did take care of us.
Yes,
they did.
Absolutely. 100%.
And I definitely do not want that to go
unnoticed. Yeah, absolutely.
So
100%.
yeah.
Yep.
I mean, they were like, well, y'all just go, and they made the sandwiches and this, that, and the other. Well, that's kind of a two-edged sword, because you'd get in trouble if you got it. But that being said, I'm on the beach. I'm hungry. They made sandwiches and
Absolutely.
and chips and
Oh yeah. Yeah, they definitely took care.
yeah, they took care of it.
Absolutely.
So I am willing. I guess you can't really say willing, because you
have no choice.
You have no choice. I don't have a problem with it. If
No.
you want to run the show, and I don't even have a problem with you herding me somewhere else. Just don't get pissed at me when
Right.
I do what I've been told and what I've been taught
Absolutely.
to do, and then that one time, for whatever reason, you wanted me over there. Well, then you should have said that.
Right. Agreed.
And that, my friends, that's all I have for man herding.
That's
I know
it.
it was a lot of me talking, but I'm very passionate about, because I won't say it almost ruined my weekend, but that last bit at the last day,
Oh man.
and I'm like, really? After all this cool vacation we had, and that's where we're going. That's where we're going.
Mm-hmm.
Come on, bro.
Yeah. Yeah, because that yeah. So I'm driving home and I'm like, what the hell's going on? Because you could tell You could taste that level of something's not right in a room.
When men, yeah,
Oh, we sense
women
it.
have great intuition. Men also have intuition when something's not peaceful, and there's that. You see like a duck going across a pond, and it's just a smooth, but you look underneath. If you can see underwater, and its feet are just going. Men can sense that.
Oh yeah.
So,
Oh, but I guess that leads me on to another thing. Is everything okay? Yeah, it's fine. Like, okay. And then we carry on. So anyway, driving home, and I was like, hey, what the hell's going on? Really? Huh. Wow. All right. Well, I thought we did everything that we were supposed to do. It was like 20 minutes later, complete silence, and I'm like, what the fuck?
What was just funny about that was where you said, I thought we did everything we were supposed to do.
Right.
And when you hear that coming from another human being, it's just, I don't know.
Oh, God.
I thought we did everything we were supposed to do.
Right. Yeah.
I don't know.
Like I say, it's not like we got up from the table and we're like,
So apparently what we need to do is next time we go, we need to bring, I guess Harry can come along. That's fine. But we need to bring Charlene with us so she can bridge the gap between the dudes and the chicks.
yes.
And she apparently can understand and bridge across both
Right.
things, and then she could just kumbaya us
Or
all together.
we get a shit ton of paper plates, paper bowls. Everything is paper, disposable knives and forks and whatever. Oh, are you done? Oh, okay. So we hold the trash bag up and we won. And then that's it.
Are you gonna put that? Are you gonna put that trash bag there?
Yeah. Would you like me to take? No, because I got more stuff. That
I got
need
more.
to
Yeah.
throw.
Well, it looks pretty full. No, we can fit more. I mean, don't waste it.
Okay.
Okay.
Yeah, it's like trash Jenga all over again. How much shit can I put in this bag? There's a little bit of breathing room in there.
That's good. That might pop. It's not gonna pop. It'll stretch. Just put that. All right.
And then when it does, and the shit leaks out all over the floor, you're like, I'll be out on the deck.
I'll be all day. Well, you could help clean us up. All right. Now we're just banging on them. Anyway.
All right. This was a good show.
It was a good show. Now, this was kind of a more tongue-in-cheek kind of thing, but I know that Ed and I have talked. There's a couple topics that we're definitely going to get into,
Deep.
that are a little deeper and that are going to be stuff that we're
putting it out there.
and it's just, and that way whoever can relate to some of the stuff. And some of the things that we've already done on the podcast, where it was just a podcast that wasn't live, we did something like how men think and how. One thing I will do. I'll just tell you a few things, and we don't know. I don't know when we're going to do it. Like, what's our next show? We'll figure it out and put it on Discord before. But I know one of the things that I definitely want to tackle is how men in society are perceived from society. Not necessarily, say, you and me,
Right.
or how Harry and I or whoever else kind of deal with each other, or with Charlene or the other wives and stuff.
Sure.
But in general, in society, or whether that's social media, advertising, however you want to, or whatever media you want to talk about, I want to discuss how men are perceived in society, because it aggravates for those of us that really. I'm not saying bust our ass or whatever. I mean, we do what we're supposed to do, because that's
what we do.
we're supposed to do.
It's been bred.
But men are still looked at as we're just looked at as fucking idiots. We don't know what we're doing. We're this, that, and the other.
He never listens.
Never listens, or never helps, or this or that, or whatever, or whatever. And it's like, how do you expect, especially in so many cultures in the U.S. I'm talking, probably other cultures as well, but like different ethnicities and different. the absence of the father has been
Oh yeah.
over the last, half century has been one of the biggest issues. And yet you're going to try to get fathers back in the home when all you do is just degrade them and kick them in the nuts and just tell them you ain't worth a shit. I don't know how, again, like almost like jokingly with the manherding, you can't have it both ways.
Mm-mm.
It's got to be one or the other.
Right.
So that's something I want to talk about and just discuss at some point. That's just one of the topics we're going to discuss. Another one that Ed and I have discussed very frequently, or not very frequently, but very in depth, is mental health, right? And I don't want to make this into some big, I don't know, what do you want to call it? Some clinic, whatever. Right. But Ed and I have grown up kind of the same in a very, very dysfunctional, sometimes violent, just childhood. And we want to discuss how that kind of manifests itself into that. Or you may not even grown up in that household or a household like that, but you might have been affected later on,
right,
in a relationship or either some other kind of trauma, whatever it is. And then you are kind of dealing with, and we'll talk about definitely a female side of it too. But again, the whole point of this is about the male kind of point of view, because a lot of that stuff's not talked about at all.
Right. Actually, you know what? Let's do this the next show. Because there was a commercial that came.
Do what?
In,
Which one?
The childhood and fathering and everything.
Got it.
So there was a commercial I happened to catch yesterday when the Orioles lost. But anyway,
you'll be all right.
That was rough. 2 games, a doubleheader, we got beaten. So there was a commercial that was about childhood violence, like parental violence with children and things like that. And when I saw this commercial, the first thing that popped into my head is, I bet you a lot of people look at this as a physical abuse. I was physically abused, but the mental abuse, the bruises will heal, but that mental abuse is horrific, and I think that will pull into that as well.
Yeah, I agree, because, like I said, Ed and I have talked about it, and both of our fathers were some, I would say, experts in just freaking manipulation of mind, just fucking with somebody's head. And we'll even talk about that stuff. Some of the shit my dad did, man. You're like, whoa.
Yeah.
And again, let me just caveat this real quick. This is not something where we share and it's like this. It's about this affirmation and this accept, like, oh, I feel empathy and all that. No, that's not what it is. Because we're grown ass. We've lived through it. We're okay. What this is that we can discuss it,
right,
and hopefully other people can either relate. It happened to them in some way, shape, or form. And it's just to get it out there and discuss it. It's not to sit there and have some kind of freaking
pity party
like we're trying to play the martyr and all that bullshit. Because that's not how either of us are. Right. And I think people probably know that. Hopefully, it's just to discuss it. So again, all right, we'll do that next week next
2 weeks.
2 weeks.
Yeah.
Is it 2 weeks?
Every other week.
Yeah. So before I go, all I want to say is thanks everybody for joining us. I want to ask everybody to put Ed's wife Christy in your prayers. She's going to have some surgery. All right, just having some procedure done, and it's been a little scary. I think you're going to be okay, but regardless of that, just keep her in your prayers and everything. That she'll be okay and everything else. So that's just what I want to end with, and then you can end with.
Thank you.
What you got?
Well, I want to thank everybody as well for being here. This is our first live show. I mean, you guys have been great with the responses and things like that. I mean, that makes it worth it for us. Yeah. Because it's not just 2 Neanderthals blabbing the whole entire time. So thank you very much for that. The show means a lot to myself, and I know it means a lot to Gary. And, you know, I do miss doing perception theory, but this, I think, is way more important to the both of us than, you know,
That's
political.
bitching about politics.
Yeah,
Although we can still bitch about it.
But, you know, that'll never stop. But, yeah, thank you guys so much for joining us. And for those of you that are hopefully listening to us after the fact, again, thank you for taking the time out of your day to spend it with us.
Yeah.
So thank you. And everybody, please have a safe week. Enjoy yourselves. And life is short, you know, so take every day and live it like it's your possible last one. Thank you guys as well. Harry, thank you so much. And
Miss Charlene.
absolutely. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you.
And
All right.
and hopefully, like I said, there's other viewers out there, and if you don't want to comment or if you don't want to, that's fine. That's fine and good. But hopefully, people will get comfortable as we go on a little bit, and hopefully feel. And even if it's not a chat, even if it's a simple question. So this is another thing, just real quick, and then we're gonna go. That Ed and I talked about. Even if it's just as much as you want to ask a question, like we're on a topic like tomorrow or next episode, we're talking about mental health and childhood trauma, this, that, and the other. Maybe there's a question that you want to ask. Feel free to do that. You don't have to add anything to it. You can say, "What do you feel about this, that, and the other?" And if you just want to ask a question and you want us to respond to it,
Right.
That's great. But hopefully everybody will start to feel better, more and more comfortable, and even enter the chat or at least go in there and ask a question.
Absolutely.
All right. So we're going to get out of here.
Thank you.
Thank you for joining us. We love you guys.
Be safe.
Be safe. And like I said, hopefully this will help some young men out there not to get in trouble
Right.
as much. So anyway,
If you're told to get out of the kitchen, stay the hell out of the kitchen.
get the hell out, bro.
If you know what's good for you.
Yeah. All right.
All right, everybody. Thank you so much.
Let me find my button. I'm eventually going to get all this set up on our stream deck. Just
Okay.
haven't got there yet.
Yeah.
All right. So we're out.
See you guys. Thank you.
Where's our outro?
Thank you.
And we're peace.
Peace.